BYU, that's Brigham Young University, the Mormon university out in Utah. Pole vaulter Zach McWhorter, whatever. I'm not going to spell it. Was practicing. Like they call it they call it a stunt. It's not a stunt. He's an athlete. And Murray used to be a former pole vaulter at the Perryville High School. I'm sure you can imagine. There's no video on this. I bet I could find it. But 21 years old, springs it up. Shoots over the bar, doesn't push the pole away. Pole falls inwards towards the mat as he's coming down, catches him in the scrotum. 18 stitches later, the young man is a whole new man. And he says, there's nothing wrong with my testicles, just a scar. One day we'll find out if they'll function or not. I missed that quote. Bravo. Oh, man. God, we talk about dick a lot. But Ben obviously covet their private regions, and this definitely ranks up there as some of like the most gruesome shit that I've heard of in terms of just puncture or blunt force trauma, things of that nature. Your thoughts, if you have any, other than wow.
Alan, I have plenty as a former pole vaulter.
I always kind of wondered, because I threw like shot put and discus, and I would just always kind of mosey around and watch like different events, and I always kind of wondered about the poles because they seemed like they would get precariously close to this very situation, like all the time, but it never happened. And so now seeing it happen, I wonder like what's the frequency that it happens, and you know, are there worse? This sounds like this could get worse than what it came out with for him. Like he made out all right. It sounds like.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, luckily he made out all right. Now, I will say for me, I wasn't a good enough pole vaulter to really have this particular situation arise. Because these guys are getting like, what, 15? Between 15 and 20
I watched
feet.
the thing, a video of his after I went down the rabbit hole, and I think his PR is like 17.7 or something crazy.
That seems reasonable from Division One
college,
NCAA. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the Perryville High School pole vault poles themselves were not structured in a way that would allow you to get higher than 12 feet.
Yeah.
And the highest I ever made it over a pole in practice was 10 feet 2 inches. That's my highest ever. That is not, and I don't take, I take zero credit for that. The highest I ever made it over in a meet was 9 feet. And that's like when you're going over the bar, that's like the poles like staring me like right in the eyeballs, okay? Not my balls, my eyeballs. And the worst that ever happened to me was I fell into the pit, which is where you jam the fucking pole into the ground. But the Perryville High School pole vault poles were what you would call static poles. They didn't bend.
Yeah.
You fucking jam those fuckers in the ground. You run as fast as you can, and you pray
guys, take a look.
that your body is able to hold on long enough to get you into the air. There was no finesse. It was all just fucking like muscle and fucking body speed.
Yeah, I remember
End of story.
I remember Murrah because my brother, who's a good bit on the show, good friend of Murrah's, was running track, and I was around a good bit. And I later ran track, but I remember him saying, "Yeah, there's first of all, there was no one there to instruct pole vault. You had a field, like someone who taught or instructed long jump, triple jump, high jump, and then just so happened pole vault. And literally it was like, all right, run as fast as you can, drive that fucker into the divot in the ground and pop yourself up. There was no technique. There was no instruction. And we got this pretty solid plexiglass thing that won't bend very much. So you're going to have to get really fast.
It's funny because all of the field events in track and field are like all except for shot put, all finesse. There's technique, and even there's technique to shot put, but shot put you can kind of get by with brute strength. But fucking, there's definitely a lot of nuance to jamming a pole in the ground and going high in the air on it.
Yeah, I have it. Do you guys want to see?
Yes. Oh, you have him puncturing his nutsack?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, of course I want to see it.
Yeah, I think the one kid in my high school was really good. And I think he went like 13 feet, 14 feet.
All right, here we go.
Oh, this fucking
Let's
bastard.
take a look here.
Is this the one?
21-year-old Zach McHorn.
Ah, they didn't have to do the double reverse fucking slow-mo.
Oh, quick tapper.
Ouch.
Ugh.
It's almost like you can see his dick like flick up in the air.
He was rushed to the hospital after this.
It sounds like the pole vault's giving him a little fun time.